Hello, Socio 106 class. Just like having a formal dinner before the main course is a starter. So before delving into the main course, let's first have this grand tour for Module 1 as a starter. Sociology of the environment is interchangeably referred to as environmental sociology. The subfield of environmental sociology studies how humans interact with their environments. This field is closely related to human ecology, as what I've mentioned before this course was offered, which focuses on the relationship between people and their built and natural environment. This area is garnering more attention as extreme weather patterns and policy battles over climate change dominate the news. The primary point of analysis has to do with the ways in which human activity transforms the natural environment and human interactions with other species. Now, for this module, we are to cover course description, course objectives or learning outcomes, and basic concepts overview. We now proceed to have a look at the course description. As reflected in the syllabus, this course deals with theories and methodological approaches and issues relating to the complex interaction of humans with various ecosystems. Important keywords here are interaction and ecosystems. To continue, the course description states that it investigates the consequences of anthropogenic activities for the biophysical environment and relevant organizations. Another term is anthropogenic. Let's have concepts overview from the course description on complex interaction of humans with various ecosystems. For the concept interaction, it is what we do when we connect and relate with each other, with each living beings. That's not just humans, but also animals. We have pets, and as well as plants. There is action from one and a corresponding reaction from the other, and vice versa. For the concept ecosystems, this picture depicts the variations of composition and possible interactions beyond the individual. With others, there is population. With the population and the environment is the community. Ecosystems are part of collective resources that are typically shared, like the natural resources, like air, water, plant, and animal life, that have remained outside of private ownership or processes of commodification and trade. Hence, ecosystem is a part of what's referred to as the commons. A partner key concept of the commons is the concept of carrying capacity, which refers to the maximum sustainable size of a resident population in a given ecosystem. In an environmental context, the carrying capacity of different environments depends on the commons to the degree that the commons are necessary for sustaining life. When the commons are threatened through pollution or overexploitation, the carrying capacity of the environment is degraded. While both concepts can refer to local grazing lands or to rivers, they can also be applied as a whole to the earth. Another concept from the course description is anthropogenic. It refers to environmental change caused by or influenced by people, either directly or indirectly. Humans impact the physical environment in many ways. Overpopulation, Burning fossil fuels and deforestation, changes like this have triggered climate change, soil erosion, poor air quality, and undrinkable water, just like what's in this diagram. The course description continues. This course provides the students with background and insights on the relationship between people and the environment. It covers the social processes that are produced in the dynamics of people and nature, which entail ecological resource utilization and exploitation, environmental risk, as well as the threats posed by climate change. Significant terms from the description are social processes, ecological resource utilization and exploitation, environmental risk and threats, and climate change. The concept social processes describe the types of interaction in relationships. In sociology, there are 4 types of social processes that regularly occur in human relationships: exchange, cooperation, competition, and conflict. We have various human relationships: husband-wife, sibling relationship, parent-child relationship, boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, friendship, and many others. When we relate and entangle our life with someone, all of those social processes are bound to happen sooner or later. This, we naturally exchange, cooperate with each other, compete, especially when there is a scarcity of time, attention, affection, and which may lead to conflict. So these are all naturally occurring social processes in any human relationships. Now, for the concept ecological resource utilization and exploitation, we just take a look around us to see how our neighbors, our community utilize and exploit our natural resources, just as like these photos here as examples. This is the mining site in Surigao, and many of our water resources are teeming with solid waste, and those are done by the people in the community. On environmental risk and threats, there is that probability or chance of suffering adverse consequences in the form of natural disasters like storms, floods, fires, earthquakes, tornadoes, and other acts of nature. Then there's this popular term, climate change, which pertains to a global issue in which the degradation of the global commons through ecologically unsustainable human activities threatens the Earth's carrying capacity as a whole. We already have mentioned a while ago about the commons. And we also have mentioned the carrying capacity. And both are important elements in climate change. To continue with the course description, the course delves into social theories on the environment, role and intervention of science and technology, and social movements that deal with the undercurrents of environmental problems, concerns, and mitigations. Moreover, the course challenges the students to be critical of the relationship of peoples and their environment within the lens of climate justice. Let's take on 2 concepts from that: mitigations and climate justice. Mitigation is the implementation of measures designed to reduce the undesirable effects of a proposed action on the environment. Mitigation is a key part of the AI process. It is essential to achieving environmentally sound design. Climate justice insists on a shift from a discourse on greenhouse gases and melting ice caps into a civil rights movement. Look at these people. In other countries, they are already marching on streets for this. It is actually highly observable for other countries to express their sentiments on the streets, even with COVID mandates and government, if you have heard of truckers in Canada. Now we have covered the course description well. Let's just run through the course objectives. At the end of the semester, you are able to You are expected to be able to articulate the classic and contemporary sociological environmental theories, discuss the different discourses on the environment, apply the sociological concepts of environment to climate change issue within the lens of climate justice, take concrete action on climate change issues. So that is all for this module, for this lesson. Let's continue on the next module.